It's like sitting at a window.
Okay, we're live.
Okay, we're good to go. Tracy, we're on.
Oh, we're ready? Okay. We are so ready. It's 5:37 and we will begin our work session. Oops, we'll start at the front page. So with us tonight is Craig Schulte, Bill Lovis, myself, Michael Gary, Mike Roth, Kim Van Beck, and Mandy Lehman. And first up tonight is a report from our municipal liquor, Chris Levine.
Yeah, good.
Golf clap.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
So we want to drink a lot of twisted tea, is that what you're saying?
That's not what we want to, but a lot of people do, yeah.
It's popular. Twisted tea.
This is kind of busy.
It's
I
getting
mean, there's a
busier.
lot of cool things going on. So you're finally able to take advantage of that pricing, you know, you'd always wanted to do, like have
Mhm.
volume
Yeah,
purchasing, I should
it-
say.
We kind of know what we need to get now, as opposed to last year, which helps a lot.
Oh, that's nice and good, and just do that and some fun events. What happens with tasting? Did they come up and run it?
Yeah, so just a brewery, each brand has a brand representative,
Mm-hmm.
and they come up and do the tastings.
How many are you just trying to do them during the busy season? Like, or you've been doing them all the time?
I mean, we've done them throughout the year, but it makes more sense to do them when we have more people to reach, for sure.
Yeah. Because I suppose some of them it's just unexpected, right? They just come in and then you're doing this.
Excuse me. No, I mean, I know they schedule them ahead of time.
No, I meant when the people come in the store,
Mhm.
they're not aware and they're like, oh, look, you're having a tasting or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That sounds good. How, obviously, for those vendors, those are good marketing for them, they find, is that what you're
Absolutely.
saying?
I mean, it helps get their products to customers without them having to buy it, which works pretty good for them.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I know a lot of those breweries are not having good days,
No.
so it's probably worth all the marketing they can do.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy time. One number that's kind of crazy is like Castle Danger beers were down like 40%. And that used to be one of the biggest ones. But I mean, other things have replaced it. You know, there's just, that one's not as popular as it used to be, but we're selling a lot more Ursa Minor. We're selling a ton of Bell's beer. I mean, it's been replaced, but that's just weird to me how something that's been that strong for that long has just kind of,
Wow.
yeah.
That's bizarre.
Isn't that crazy?
Did
With
they
that,
have any ideas? Like,
I mean, people aren't drinking as many IPAs and strange beers, and yeah. Because people's tastes have changed.
right. And where does cider land? Is that under beer?
Beer and cider are together,
Okay.
yeah.
So I haven't paid attention. Is Castle Danger packaging their own THC like so many of them are doing?
They came out with one about probably 7 months ago,
Oh, so pretty recently.
very recently, yeah.
Because a lot of like Wild State, a lot of the closer ones have already been.
Well, so like, if you look at Bent Paddle or Fulton, Ryan Petz,
Yeah.
they're at about 50% THC manufacturing and 50% beer now.
Wow.
Yeah, so if things don't change in November, those companies are gonna lose a lot.
Yeah, I was reading they were trying to even decide what to do and how much to manufacture up to that magic date. Or
Yeah.
people want to like buy a bunch and before it ends, or what would be?
Yeah, nobody really knows right now what's gonna happen. It's kind of a strange world with that stuff.
Yeah, so that like speaks to the flip of what people want to,
Mhm.
it's not a basis or whatever. So-
THC sales have probably hurt the wine side of things more than anything. Yeah,
It explains, because you said that was down.
yeah,
Yeah, I've read, a lot of other liquor stores really say that's really picked up, like up to like 30% of their sales and stuff.
it's a huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be tough to see it go away. And the way everybody's treating it, I don't think it's gonna go away. They're still making just as much, they're coming out with innovations, they're still going ahead like it's gonna be here, so, I feel like we have to kinda operate the same way.
Well, yeah, you're just buying it, you can control it, but if you're manufacturing, that's
Yeah.
the bigger risk, right?
Absolutely.
So,
I'm pretty sure too that if they are not legal anymore, there's gonna be kind of a sundowner period where you have, you're allowed to get rid of your merchant, they're not gonna just
oh,
say dump all your stuff down the drain on November 5th.
Yeah.
well, it's a lot to keep track of that, and keep on top of what people want and, where things are going.
It's a little easier after a year
Mhm.
than it was the previous year to do these things.
And Canadians are coming back a little bit?
Yeah, much more.
Oh, nice, that's good to hear.
Yeah, we have some every day. It's nice to see.
Yeah. You start to wonder if the relationship was more permanently affected, but it's good to know that.
4th of July was crazy with Canadians.
Do they have an unrelated long holiday on that weekend too?
Isn't there 4th of
July
July like a
1st,
day
July
or
1st.
two earlier?
So it goes on the other side, and that's why.
Yep.
So they were able to attach it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I knew there was something close
They're
by
double.
that
Yeah.
was it to,
Smart.
how could we forget? Well, that's good to know. What else do you want us to know?
What else do you wanna know?
Tell us something like, okay, so you're like inching up, like you said, sales have actually gone up, which is good to know because like you said, the articles are that alcohol consumption is down, but yet you're still managed to, your gross has still gone up the last few years.
I think we found out this year that we're still a very seasonal place, even though we have a big store. And maybe in some of those off times where we just don't have, we learned a lot about inventory this last year and what to carry during different times. And yeah, April and May were just horrible this year.
Yeah, it was everywhere, it was cold. and-
Yeah, it was just crummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then June came and things got better.
The first chart's showing sales, not revenues, but actual numbers of sales, so that's a good indicator of the amount of business that's happening there. And pretty clear pattern that it was down when we were in the Beaver House, but not a lot. And it's up quite a bit over where we were before the building, just the number of sales. The dollar amount's quite a bit higher than that, but some of that's price increases in 3 or 4 years.
Well, you have a good system to track all that, run reports, see where sales are at, keep everything,
Yep.
so you've got all the tools to really, be able to do that well.
You can tell about big day July 4th weekend too. Like total sales were,
Almost 28,000,
which that's,
that's a record.
yeah, we maybe broke 20 a handful of times in the history of the store, so.
And I think we maybe broke 20 again this Saturday.
Yeah, so that's
We're right there.
indicator that the floor is still pretty low for slow times, but the ceiling's quite a bit higher with the bigger store when it is busy.
We just need that revolving beer can sign on the roof and then we'll be
All
all
we've
set.
ever needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
The blinking beer sign, right?
It could do the weather like all those big buildings always did for the WCCO,
Yeah.
St. Paul had one, or Salt Lake had one, yeah. That's what we need, and then just get somebody to rewrap it for you once in a
Little
while.
homing beacon.
Yeah.
Smoking the bear ham sign.
Smokey would be perfect for right now. Smokey the
Oh,
Bear.
wouldn't that be cute, the Hams Bear and Smokey the Bear in your liquor store together.
Oh my.
That would really push
Alright,
people.
we need 2 volunteers to get the costumes.
I would do it. Oh, that's good. Alright, you probably have more important questions to ask.
I don't.
So you feel pretty good about your new space? Everyone happy over there that way about the space part of it? Does feel a good place to work?
It's great. Yeah, it's much nicer than the other ones. The other 2 stores. I mean, after being in the Beaver House too, it's really, really nice. Air conditioning is great.
Stop.
I mean, a couple other things we've seen kind of a big surge in volume in are a lot of ready to drink items, camping type, pre-canned margaritas or mojitos or
Yeah.
whatever it
I noticed
happens to
that.
be. There's a ton of canned wines, another big, a lot of grab and go kind of packs.
Did you find that Tattersall yet?
It's been in there since you asked for it.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't bothered to come back in.
yeah, and we usually have them.
Oh, okay, she
Yeah.
just didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Okay.
Personal shopping. Okay. So yeah, did you already ask this? What's other?
So
That's kinda cool.
when we do inventory, we don't use, so it's kind of like biology where you got kingdom, class, genus, phylum, species, or whatever. We don't use, a lot of things weren't categorized into small subgroups. We've got liquor, we've got beer, we've got wine, and we've got non-alcoholic items. So some of those things were just under,
So others.
maybe Budweiser was just under beer and not under a subcategory,
Right.
or was under domestic, because we don't do them by those, we don't inventory by the vast categories, like beer is a main category. You've got craft beer, you've got Minnesota craft beer, you've got import beer, you've got, there's a lot of subcategories under. And so what I've been doing is getting everything into those. We've never been asked for this report before, so these things weren't in these big categories or the largest grouping. They're all in the smallest groupings. So that's why that other number has shrunk. As we've got rid of products and added other things, they've been classified.
Right.
So that's what that is.
Sure, I get that.
And we
I
wanted
do
to
that at
show
the
it
store.
because I think the beer growth is a little misleading, because a lot of those were probably just other sales. But the total includes everything, and so the total is
Yeah.
a good indicator for what actually
I
happened.
mean, like something like ice wasn't categorized, which is a big, we sell a ton of ice, obviously. It's, so now everything is not only, it's like that whole category is filled with all the little subclasses and sub.
That's what I had to do at the start, because then you can run better reports.
I think that like for this application, you need to see things as departments. When we're doing things, we don't look at anything that way, because they're all the little subclasses of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you personally, when you're trying to reorder, you need to see that.
Like wine is broken down into Cabernets and Chardonnays, and when we're inventorying, but in here, it's just wine.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, you don't wanna see the other report.
Oh, I do.
Oh, it's a lot of pages, you want to know.
Just kidding.
172, I think.
Pages.
You can if you run everything. Just teasing you. Okay, oh, and website soon.
Yes,
Who's helping you get all that done?
Molly has
Molly's
helped with that, yep.
Nice, alright. Then yeah, you'll be able to do a lot with that, to, like you said, social media or whatever. You'll get more people at your tasting events. And your do they push it too, don't your distributors then? Like if they're gonna come and do that, don't they help with some marketing for
So the
you?
brand managers push it more. Like Rich Powell from Castle Danger comes up
Yeah.
and says, hey, you wanna do a tasting this day. It's not directly through my distributor, it's more through the individual breweries, yeah.
That's what I meant,
Okay.
Yeah.
like they would Castle Danger and then would do their own promotions and link it for you, and, yeah. That's good, that's good. Alright, mark your calendars.
Starting Friday.
Did you have anything, Craig?
You said your wine category is going down, but
People aren't drinking as much wine as they used
the
to,
sales are up.
cause people aren't drinking as much wine as they used to drink. But that doesn't mean people don't drink wine anymore.
No, I know, but I'm
You
just
know.
saying,
Part of that trend is
Yes.
that some of the other sales were actually wine.
Yeah,
So
and it's
they
also
have
not,
categorized.
it's also not like a item per item, bottle of wine for a case of beer, you know, it's the price of what we're selling, and it's like even when there weren't Canadians coming down, they were coming down and getting cases of Cabernet or Chardonnay from California, cause there's no American wine in Ontario right now. And they weren't buying cheap, you know, they're buying very nice bottles of wine.
They would. That's right, Phillips went, and put a manufacturing up in Ontario, cause there's that one, I don't know if it was like one of the soupy syrupy drinks or whatever, it's one of their favorites up there. So since they couldn't sell, they just went and put up a,
They built one up there so they
yeah,
could keep
so
making
they
it
could keep the,
and keep it in Canada.
I didn't realize that Martin Phillips, the legislator, that's his family, the Phillips.
The Johnson Phillips,
Yeah, I didn't
Family?
know that till
I didn't know
read
that
this
either.
article. And they said that's how they were kind of keeping that business going, because it turns out it's like a specialty icky, when you were 16 it was a good flavor, but now you
Yeah.
know this is a gross
Yeah.
flavor.
But you've grown up.
And apparently it's still really popular up there, so that's how they circumvented and didn't lose sales. As they went,
like ketchup flavored French fries or some very Canadian thing.
yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I won't go on the jokes on that one, but anyways,
You're there.
that was I thought that was interesting.
It is.
To how they didn't want to lose sales. Yeah. So, that's cool. Well, I'm glad our neighbors are coming back.
I am too.
They're just darn good people. I'm not just even talking about liquor sales. It's just nice to have them around. Great. All right.
Thanks,
Anything
Chris.
else?
Thanks everyone.
All
Have a
right,
wonderful
thank you a
night.
lot, Chris, I really appreciate it.
thank you.
Library report,
Dun, dun, dun.
and Electra's going, oh, and after that kickoff with liquor. Oh, my
Oh,
God.
everybody's Thursday.
Yeah,
And hungry.
if it's okay with you, we'll just move the meeting next door.
It would be okay with me. No objections. Well, thanks for having us today. I'm looking forward to sharing with you the 2027 library budget. I am Electra Brandwin, Library Director, if we're communicating broadly, and I am joined today by Library President Sarah McManus and also Library Trustee and County Commissioner David Mills.
Hi.
Would it be helpful for me to recap the library performance update to get started? Sure. Okay. So this spring, when I came and visited, we reported that more than half of Cook County residents are registered library members. And that visitor registration continues to grow each year. The trends have encouraged the library to explore new ways to connect with residents and visitors. I'm sorry, it's the dryness of the smoke.
That's bad.
It is. Through existing community touchpoints, including lodging providers and the Grand Marais campground and marina, and conversations with the city about welcoming new public utilities residents, customers. Last year, the library welcomed more than 46,000 visitors. And this June, we had 4,000 people come through, and that's up from last year as well. We held 4 programs that brought in 248 people from different segments of our community. And that's intentional planning to make sure that we're providing inclusive opportunities for connection and learning and participation at the library. Library use continues to evolve, and the last time I was here, we talked about how the library is now on par with national trends, where 1/3 of our checkout is digital content. The budget that we'll be showing you today would allow us to pivot and offer a pilot of something called Hoopla, which expands ebook access and e-audios. It also introduces streaming music and video for the first time. And while the physical library remains absolutely a cornerstone of community connection, those digital resources are going to provide greater flexibility for residents who live further from the city and also who need access to services outside of regular hours. Summer reading participation is also ahead of last year's pace. We've had, as of July 8th, over 115 children doing the in-library activities. We have mascots hidden all throughout the library, and they get to go find them, and then once someone finds them, they have to hide it for the next person. And they are very determined to hide it so good that nobody's gonna find it. So we had to put a few parameters on the hiding game. But also, they are coming in and reading to a plant. And they get to see their flower on the wall to help our garden of readers grow. And it's very engaging for everyone. The kids are delighted and just scouting everything out in the library. And we also purchased a number of reading trackers based on last year's figures, plus a little growth. And they are flying out the door so fast we've had to place another order. So what's really special about all of this is that each completed tracker is providing a child with a free book of their choice to build their home library, their personal library. And we are creating a space that is safe and supportive for literacy and lifelong learning engagement throughout Cook County. The trends I'm sharing are reflecting a library that's responsive to changing community needs and that's committed to using public resources thoughtfully. The proposed 2027 budget builds on this work by supporting the people, the services, technology, and facility investments needed to continue serving the community. So that's my piece, and I wonder if you have any questions about the library performance update before we enter the budget discussion.
Anything, Bill? Okay. I'm just always personally very excited. I'm always excited about our library, but I'm also personally excited when I see like kids and they're still there and they know it's important. I mentioned this at the other meeting. My son-in-law took my granddaughter over to the first thing. I think it was the first thing of this summer with the and he sent a picture while he's there. He goes, "My God, the place is packed in here," and he just couldn't believe that. I mean, they go to their Duluth library, but he was like, "Wow, there's a lot of kids, a lot of people." So that's great, and that's a good point, giving people access to materials when outside of, ours. And we do have a responsibility to our whole county, so I think every time we do things, to people everywhere, it's a huge service for them, so thank you. Just like Chris, you guys are like analyzing where you need to be, what's the newer things, what are the trends. So.
Exactly. So for the budget proposal, we have a 4.7% overall increase, and that is largely reflecting a 10% projected increase in health insurance and the 3% cost of living. So we've done a lot of work with keeping the budget as tight as possible and moving funds around so that we could accommodate things like Hoopla and staff training, and then also capital planning. So we're here tonight to talk about the budget for 27, which we'd love for you to approve, and then to have a conversation about how we want to look at long-term capital planning for the library. The trustees have been really focused on the strategic plan and in particular, financial stewardship. We had Kim come and spend some time with us. She was gracious to answer many of our questions in person and many over follow-up as well. But the library facility is aging, and we need to start thinking about long-term replacements like boilers, copiers, the rotunda, the roof. And the library has some reserves, so it makes sense for us to contribute to our own capital funds. But it also makes sense for the city and county to think about how they want to fund capital repairs at the library as well. So we've proposed an approach where the library would contribute to the 2027 budget for capital expenses, and then ease the city and county into contributing over time so that we minimize the impact of the levy, because we want to be responsible with our taxpayers' dollars and keep the increases as low as possible.
One of the conversations we had at the library board too was just about the bylaws and where these responsibilities fall, and it sounded like it was largely in each entity had their capital for the library. It was their responsibility to manage that. So that was kind of a revelation at our last meeting, just like, oh, because we were trying to figure out, okay, how are we gonna approach this? So we thought it might be worth, and I know there's other joint powers agreements that are getting reviewed, so it's probably a good idea. You know, Commissioner Gamble is very interested in reviewing the library joint powers agreement, and so we'll just put it on the list for whenever we get to the others.
Well, we're going to town next week on one, right?
Yep.
I remember my calendar on that.
Step by step.
Yeah. And that's just a start to it. We're on the downside of getting
Yeah, that's
something
not at
done,
the
so
end.
that's
Yeah.
important.
And which one is this?
Law enforcement,
No.
yeah, so that's good. This isn't maybe a question for you guys, maybe it's more for Kim, and maybe it's still a huge unknown, but I mean, 10%, I had read a news story that potentially insurance could be higher this year, but do you ever get any kind of news or what feel for that? Or is it too early?
It's too early, we usually hear around September, so hopefully before the preliminary levy time, but they don't give us any indication until then.
And that was a total surprise last year too, compared to what happened everywhere
Yeah,
else.
last year we had a 0 increase, so.
Yeah, that was,
There you go.
so who knows? Okay. Yeah, it's usually employee costs like that, the one thing you can't really, well, you can control if you wanna go shopping, but
Yeah, even so. Good luck.
Yeah.
it's hard. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're gonna. So the boiler is the immediate?
It's the most pressing right now. It's reached end of life time-wise. So it seems prudent to replace it before it fails.
I think it was it 3 years that we reached end of life ago, or was it just? Maybe I'm getting
I believe the
boilers.
boilers are 15 years old. Some can last longer, but ours are showing wear. We had a heating assessment done before we started installing air source heat pumps, and they were showing us the failing parts. We've replaced a number of them, and currently they're stable. But it's something we want to make sure we're proactive about.
So 15 years. Any questions at propane? What have you got for heating system, propane?
Mm-hmm.
I do like the capital planning, getting rid of any of those big spikes that will come down, rather than like And now we have a big expense, even though between the county and the city we could split it, we could also be contributing a little bit each go around, and I think it makes sense. It's like a good plan.
Yeah, you're absolutely, you want peaks and valleys and
Yeah,
try
just
to,
so that,
Exactly, that's what we want to avoid, is coming in and asking for a huge amount of money because something is failing, and then the next year not needing anything, and then the next, that's not good stewardship for us.
do you just use someone local to like assessing the boiler? And I know you said you did a lot of replacement parts, but does someone come in and then say, based on where this is at, this is my recommendation?
We're working with Shane Steele about options because we certainly want to take advantage of any opportunity to electrify and join the city in that plan. Primarily, we've had Jamar provide the assessments. They're the most responsive to our requests and calls, and they've done the most thorough research on our whole heating system. So right now, our quote is coming from them and our recommendations are from those assessments.
I just saw some grant stuff on energy and for government again. I know I sent some stuff to Shane recently. Does he, can't remember which one I just sent to him, and he was not on that distribution list. It was a thing for the state, and it might have been the energy one. I have to look at it again. But there could be help that way if you haven't had a chance to do some snooping around
That would
and
be
find
great.
that out, because there were some pieces, and I know, like we've talked before, that maybe as a city, we've done the most we could do with our buildings and different things, but maybe we haven't with some options there, I don't know. But there's just so many things that way, and we don't usually have time or people to look into what there is always, but the emails constantly fly from the state of opportunities, so. Okay.
Thanks for that. Nancy Kelly, and whoever the new Nancy Kelly is, they've been really excellent at helping us get rebates as well.
Okay. So, yeah, you wanna potentially think broadly about your replacement options, is that what you're saying? Or you're just saying replace a propane system again, or are you thinking,
We're looking at electric too.
that's what, yeah,
Yeah.
you're looking bigger option, they're broader, is probably
Yeah.
what I should use.
So some of the options that we've looked at are propane, continuing with propane. We've looked at hybrid and we've looked at electrifying. And right now, our quotes, the expectations, whether we go propane or electric, will be the same cost. Some of the factors that are leaning, some of us, I believe, toward the electric is also because we understand that there are city buildings that are succeeding with electricity, and also that we are in range of the generator, which is pretty successful backing up buildings in town. We're all looking
Remind
at
me,
you.
do you have just one boiler, or do you have a couple of different systems?
The library's heating and cooling systems are complex, and any plumber who looks at them says so. Our boilers in particular, we have two, and they create a redundancy. We also have in-floor heating in part of the newer parts of our building, and we use air source heat pumps, especially in the shoulder season, for heat, and then also to cool the building in the summertime. they're all working together. We hope.
That's the plan.
Do you have a follow-up? I'm curious
Oh, no,
where
I'm
your
just-
question
I'm-
was coming from.
I'm thinking because at the hospital, we're also dealing with Jamar on boiler replacements and they are full-blown, propane, and they will stay that way. But we also have a really complex system too, as you can imagine,
Yeah.
with air handlers and stuff. And I remember we had a conversation over a year ago, I think, about all the different systems you had playing together there.
Yeah.
And I thought that you had more than one. I mean, the size of the building, to me, would dictate that you would need to have one, 2 boilers that alternate or kick in when it's really severely cold. Like we have 3.
Spot on.
Just curious.
I'm just sitting here looking if I could see some of that, like, some of these emails that I had received recently. To look again, but anyways, okay. Craig? Any questions or comments?
The boiler's a good example of a current need. They have a few others they've identified. It's pointing towards the capital approach where we're going to be asked to increase our annual contribution. So just want to make sure everybody understands that's the ask, to gradually move towards, and at this point the target is about 50,000 a year split between the city and the county that would be included in their budget request in the future, that we'd be levying every year, setting aside in an account for capital projects and then using for a project like the boiler. So this year the library's ask for that is pretty small in the levy. That's what it's been historically for the city and the county, is not a lot put in towards capital. I think maybe it was 1,000 each. We probably called it the carpet fund when it was created rather than the capital improvement project fund. So it's gonna grow. And I don't know that we know exactly how quickly it's going to grow yet, but we're aiming for that 50,000 a year, and that's based on what their depreciation schedule says their assets are worth. There might be a way to refine that number over time through study, but it seems like a really good starting point as something to aim at.
You guys talked about this last year, right? I thought there was talk then about switching over some dollars into startup fund or imagination. So we have till when on this approval?
We'd love for you to do it today.
This is a work session.
You can, this is a regular meeting too. You can take action here. The library budget comes in advance of the rest of the city departments because we have to send it to the county for their review as well, so it's about a month ahead of everyone.
Well, I would make a motion then to approve the 2027 library budget.
Anyone like to second that motion? I'll second that motion. Any further questions or comments about the budget? Proposed budget for the library, excuse me. The major increase is the what if on the health insurance. The rest of it is not much of a change really at all. And that is still the number we can't really control, and it could still vary, which would vary for everyone. I mean, the rest of the city staff as well. And the other 3% is just part of the union contract for all union employees of the library. So, felt more commentary when you think through that, what's really affecting it, and that otherwise they aren't really asking for any changes to the day-to-day operational costs, other than this thought of moving toward,
The capital.
yeah, into the future. Future, not now. Yeah.
It's a whole year to think about how we.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thought.
All right, and with that, any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor of the proposed budget for the library for 2027?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Thank you so much.
Any opposed?
Meeting is this.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
And that is the end, we get a